Hello, hello, hello. Amazing. Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Tash Talk Show. I'm back. I told you I'd be back with a big freaking bang. So I said that Tash Talks is going to go big in 2023. And January, I feel like I don't even know where January went. That's how I feel. I feel like it was the most amazing, epic month. We launched Conscious Coach. There's some very exciting stuff that's happening kind of in the background that's going to be launching this year. There's some exciting chats of me doing some potential stuff. So it's all very, very exciting. So January just kind of just went, that's how I felt. But I'm back. It's February, it's 2023, and we are here to make it freaking big, awesome, and kind of blow our expectations out of the freaking water, right? That is the plan. So just want to make sure that we are all doing great. And of course, if you're watching this on the replay, if you're watching this live in the Facebook group, please do put hello in the chat box so I can see everyone that's on. And if you're watching this on the replay, please do put hashtag replay. Let's get into some juicy questions. I hope you are loving the new kind of setup. And what I've decided, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, Tash Talk Show. Oh, yeah. I get asked so many questions about this piece of stunning, stunning art. I can't remember the shop though, so I have to get back to you on that one. But what I'm thinking is I'm kind of going to, I've spoken about this before about Tash Talks kind of going on a live tour, and wherever I am that weekend, or where I'm going to be that week, or where I am in the world, wherever it is, I'm going to bring the Tash Talk Show with me so you guys can travel with me. Wi-Fi depending, of course. So let's get into some of your juicy questions that you have sent in. And as per that, I'm always going to be honest. I'm always going to speak from my heart and from my experience and my truth. And then you take that on, okay? You wouldn't be here if you didn't love the realness of what Tash is going to say. And when I'm clearing my throat, be prepared that I'm clearing the chakra. Right. I've recently changed my niche, as I have changed from build stage to scale stage of my business. And I want to serve that entrepreneur that wants help to scale her business, not build it. But I feel that it's not working on my Instagram. I feel like I'm still attracting lots of clients in the business stage. Okay, if you feel like your Instagram isn't working for you, and let's say you've changed your niche and it doesn't seem to be attracting in the new ideal clients that you want to be attracting, you need to listen to this. I have sneak peek at your Instagram, Sarah, and what I can see from looking at your content is you are still speaking to your old niche. You are still speaking to that business owner that is in the startup stage, that is kind of just building her foundations into it. You are not speaking to that entrepreneur that is scaling her business, and they are two very different stages of business. So what I want you to think about is your messaging. If you are talking to the problems of a business startup, of struggling to get clients, I'm struggling to what to do in my bio on my Instagram. If you're doing pieces of content around that, then guess what? You're going to attract those ideal clients to you. Whereas I noticed one of your pieces of content, you were talking about struggling to invest. When you are scaling your business, that isn't a pain point that ideal client is struggling with. As someone that's scaling their business, we're used to investing. We're CEOs now. We're in a completely different mindset. We're not thinking of that first investment, how scary it was, how to step outside our comfort zone. That's not where someone that is scaling their business is thinking from, is where her energy is. So you need to speak to that. What does that ideal client who wants to scale her business, where's her goals, her dreams, her aspirations? Where does she want to get to first and foremost? Can you help her get there? And thirdly, what is she experiencing right now that isn't the reality she wants to get to, but it's her current reality? What are those struggles and those pain points that you can help her with? Once you change that messaging and you direct that content to that ideal client, I promise you're going to see a massive change in the ideal clients that are coming to you. But can you just also take this on board, that it may or may not take a little bit of time for that adjustment? I remember when I first started off in my business, I was just solely focusing on mindset. So I was helping anybody that wanted to work on their mindset. As my experience grew, as my journey continued, I decided that what lit me up the most was working with my ideal clients were female entrepreneurs, women that wanted to build businesses. That's what got me excited. So then I niched down to that. Solely just working on mindset, nothing to do with business. As I grew my business to 6 figures, that's then when I decided, wow, this is what I'm going to teach other women how to do this, how other female entrepreneurs, how to build their business to 6 figures. As that has then completely grown and I've mastered more the energetic side of things, using the modality RRT, all of those things I now bring into my marketing, bring into my ideal clients. But there was a transition stage. There was a transition from people, and there's probably people still on my Instagram now that are following me solely just to do with mindset, right? But they're not the people that I help now. I help female entrepreneurs that want to build and scale their businesses, mastering the energetics and soul strategy. So I'm very clear in my messaging of that's who it is that I help. That is not to say that I don't attract people who come to my page that just like me because I motivate them and I inspire them, and that's fantastic. But the majority of people that are on my Instagram are my ideal clients. Now that takes time to grow, expand, and develop that. So you said recently changed. So I'm presuming, I can't guess how long you've been doing this in regards to what you meant by recently changed, but give it some time and really get laser focused on the content that you are putting out there so it speaks to your ideal client's heart, her soul, where she is right now, where she wants to get to. And you're not alone. I see so many people struggle with this. They're like, my Instagram's not working. I'm like, it's not Instagram, it's you and it's your messaging, and you're not clear on your ideal client. Or if you are clear on your ideal client isn't clear that that's who you are trying to speak to, right? I help two entrepreneurs. I help them build your business and I help them scale. And what I help them to do is to focus on the inner work as well as soul strategy. But what somebody will be struggling with in regards to, first of all, starting off what content to post on Instagram, how to sell, how to get past those limiting beliefs, how to master their mindset and have a morning routine, have those CEO habits. That's one entrepreneur. Now, my entrepreneurs that are scaling their business, they're already having X amount of money coming each month, right? They've been doing this X a long time. They're not looking to grow their Instagram. They're looking more to expand their Instagram and monetize it. They're looking to sell completely more offhand. So it's not fully always them talking to camera. It's about them making recurring income that's coming in without them actually having to exchange time for money. It's about them investing into systems, into teams. It's about mastering that next level of themselves on an energetic level. Can you see? Two entrepreneurs at two very different stages, and I can help both of them, but just in different ways. So you want to get really clear on what it is. If I have an entrepreneur come up to me and I'm like, okay, where are you right now? Tell me what your struggles are. And not because I want somebody to focus on their struggles. I need to know if I can help them. And the only way I'm going to be able to help them is by them telling me what it is that they're struggling with right now. And if they're ticking all the boxes, great. Then I can say, listen, I've got my tribe membership site. Get yourself in there, master your mindset, perfect foundational stage. Let's say they want more strategy, build your online business, self-study course, can do it in your own time, good to go. Let's say then they want to work on their energetics. They want to really shift that limiting belief, that horrible niggling Nelly that's inside of them. Great, come and join Conscious Coach. And let's say you're ready for that next level, that one-on-one, someone that really kind of wants to master this and learn how to have more fun in their business, to make more money and really kind of create a freedom lifestyle with what they have got in place right now of their business, but they want to scale that, then great, one-on-one. Can you see how they can work for different people at different stages? So just get really clear on your messaging. It's so, so important. People kind of skim over that. They think, oh, I'll just put this out and it will, no, your messaging needs to be so clear, because let's look at the platform Instagram. It has billions of daily users. What's going to make you stand out? If you're just doing a generic message and it's not speaking to your ideal client, how do you expect it to help them? And this is why I get so passionate when it comes to people say, oh, you don't need to niche. I disagree. You do actually need to niche. Do I think that you need to stick with your niche forever? Absolutely not. I'm a great example of how I went into mindset, into business, into energetics. Of course, your business grows with you, but I see a niche as an umbrella. And you need to pinpoint who it is that you serve. Because if I'm going to get my phone and go onto Instagram and happen to fall onto your page, and it's not clear that you are actually going to help me, a female entrepreneur, scale my business to 7 figures in a way that feels so good. Do you like that? That feels mastering the energetics, and it's not hard hustle, and it's all about ease and flow and really tapping into that feminine energy. I'm in. I'm your ideal client. That's exactly what I want, right? So you need to be clear of who it is that you need to be attracting into your Instagram, because I will say this over and over again. It doesn't matter the amount of followers you have. It truly doesn't. What matters is that you have an engaged community that are full of your ideal clients, that actually really like the content you put out and engage and want to be in your world and want to buy from you. That's a business. Okay. So having 10,000 followers on Instagram does not mean, and I repeat, does not mean you're going to make £10,000 a month. Okay. And I am living proof of this. I was making 10K months way before I was having 10,000 followers. Okay. So you have to really kind of dial in your messaging and make sure your Instagram is on point. Got a masterclass for that. Slay your social media. The link is somewhere. DM me. Right. Next question. Biggest advice when looking to scale your business? Okay. My 3 top tips when looking to scale your business are these. Number 1, master the inner game. When you are scaling your business, it will possibly look like Trigger City. There will be so many things that come up that try to block you, stop you, and trigger you. And if you don't do that inner work to master the inner game, it's going to be constantly smacks in the face, which is going to stop you scaling your business. So number 1, you got to master the inner game. Number 2, reoccurring income. You want to be stacking it up every single month. You do not want to be starting from ground zero every month. When scaling a business, you're not looking for that 1 client, that 2 client, that 3 client. You've already got an income, a recurring income from either a membership site, maybe you've got online courses, maybe payment plans. So they're already stacked up. So every single month, you've already got X amount of money coming in. This is key when you want to build a sustainable, scalable business, recurring income. And number 3, block out your time. You need to make sure that the time that you have got to work on your business and in your business, they are very, very important. You want to put on that CEO hat, so you have time blocked out in your diary that you're working on the business. So you're looking kind of a bird's eye view down of what's working, what's not working, and the bigger vision. Then you want to create time to your social media, creating content, extremely important. I see so many people put this on the back burner. I think it's not important. Marketing is key when it comes to your social media, and also it's organic. So make sure you nail that. You want to have time to serve your clients, your existing clients you've got, and you want time to market and sell, right? They are so, so important. And if you don't block out this time in your week, the week will just go past and you won't even know. And before you know it, it's 2024 and you haven't scaled your business to the next level. Boom. They are my 3 top tips of how to scale your business. Of course, there's so many other kind of little bits that kind of go into this, and like systems that would be great to scale your business. I definitely wouldn't be able to scale my business if I didn't have the systems in, if I didn't have the team in. I don't believe you need to have a huge team. I love the fact mine's really nice and small and intimate, and they're so passionate and love what they do. So that to me is far more important than having 15 people work for me. Okay. I want to make sure, for me, I didn't build my business to manage people. Like, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to spend all day, every day managing people and managing somebody's role and expectations. I don't want to do that. I want to hire the most incredible people that are better at their jobs than what I could possibly even try to be. I want to hire the best of the best to do it, so they're in their zone of genius, and then together we all rise up as a collective. Next question. If you could start again, what's the one thing that you would learn first? Great question. Fill up my water when I think about the answer to this, because there's so much. Oh, I know. instantly my mind went to that, and then my conscious mind then started going, no, but what about this? And that was a really good strategy that you learned. And what about this and this? But no, I've got my answer. Yeah. Okay. If I had to start all over again in my business, the one thing that I would do and learn first would be to regulate my nervous system. It would be to master shifting the way my mind was processing data. Because when I think about my journey from the start of business to where I am right now in business, it has been the biggest block that has stopped me from achieving so much in that particular time scale. And I truly believe, especially if I'd mastered, and hindsight's a fantastic thing, but if I'd mastered regulate my nervous system a lot quicker than I have done in the last year, then I definitely would be at a different position in my business for sure. So if I could give you one piece of advice, I would say make that your priority before you start learning systems and strategies and all those sexy things. Master the inner game, because this could be your biggest cheerleader. And if you believe it, you can achieve it. But if you don't believe it and it's blocking you, it will be the thing that brings you down. It will be the thing that stops you building, scaling, stops you getting to that next level of business, but also yourself. So for sure, master that craft. And you probably know this already, but you are your business. So if you're not on form, if you're being triggered by every single thing that's coming up, whether it's something you're seeing on Instagram, you're like, oh my God, why don't I have that? Or someone's flying around the world making X amount of money selling their online course. You're like, damn, wish that was me. Or you're seeing your friends in business celebrating their milestones and you're like getting triggered because you're like, why is that not me? Why am I not making 100K, 100 seconds? Right? If that is you, that is what we need to master first, because it doesn't matter the level of success that you get to or desire to get to if you haven't mastered the craft of you. I have so many clients that come to me that have and do earn more money than me. And they're coming to me, and this is a great example of, you think, once I get to, let's just use 10K as an example, 10K mums, I'll feel successful, I'll feel proud, I'll feel unshakable, I'll be able to do this, this, and this, and this. But guess what? You need to feel all these feelings now in order for you to get to that 10K, because that 10K will not make you feel the way you think it's going to make you feel. 20K, 30K, 40K, 50K, 100K, £1 million a month. You have to feel those feelings first. You've got to master that resilience, that confidence. You've got to master that self-love for yourself, that you're not comparing yourself because somebody makes more money than you, or someone has gone on to Oprah and you haven't, or someone's released a book and you really want to do that. You're comparing yourself, and it's a big waste of fat energy. You want to be focusing on you. Slay in your own lane. And when these triggers are coming up, it's an opportunity for you to put that mirror on yourself and go, what work do I need to do? What needs me to show up? Where do I need to highlight? And this is where shadow work comes into it, because shadow work gets a really bad reputation. Okay, it's shadow work and it's in the darkness. And I'm teaching this in Conscious Coach literally next week. But that's not what shadow work is. It's the law of polarity. In order for you to have the dark, we have the light. So anything that's in the dark, it just needs to be shone on with some light so we can look at it, love it, and heal it. Okay, that's why forgiveness is such an incredible tool to be able to really free yourself from those limitations, those expectations of, I should be here right now. I should have done this. Why has this not happened to me yet? Freeing yourself of all those constraints, of those restrictions of a shoulda, woulda, coulda. And that's not what's going to get you to that next level. That's not what's going to free your soul. And that's the power of shadow work, to be able to look into the darkness, pull out those things that you've tried to hide underneath the bed, but they're always going to be underneath the bed. And if you don't shine that light onto them, how are you ever going to heal them? And if we don't heal how we're feeling, they're always going to come up, whether you've got £10,000 or £100,000 or £1 million in the bank. You still have to do that work on yourself. I have clients that come to me that are making huge amounts of money a month, but they don't feel worthy of it. They don't feel like it's going to stay the journey. They don't feel like it's backing them, it's supporting them. They feel like they could lose it all in the morning. And that's what we work on. And that's why it's so important to master the inner game and stop letting mind try and convince you that you'll do the work once you get there. I just need the strategy to get me here. I just need to scale to 7 figures and then I'll do it, Tash. Then I'll do the inner work. I promise you, from my heart to yours, make that a priority. Make it a priority that you're staying focused on what's going on inside, because whatever's happening inside will always show externally, always. And it may come out in a different way. You could be a really patient person, but if something is bubbling up inside of you, let's say the worry about money, and you're earning money in your business, but it's not where you want it to be, and you feel like you should have exceeded this next money goal and you haven't, okay? And you're normally quite a patient person. You'll notice that you're doing the school run and you're getting really irritable. You're getting agitated when someone's come out in front of you and you're beeping down the horn. Or for example, let's say you've got cats and the cats have weed all over the sitting room, and normally you'd be like, oh my God, this is so freaking annoying, but it's cool. We've got the resources to be able to sort this. But instead you're actually getting really frustrated and angry. It's not about the cats and it's not about the driving. It's about you. And so that's why we need to pull that out and let's face it. Let's face how you're feeling about money, because the reason why you're not attracting that money into your life is because you feel it's restrictive. You want it. You desperately want to get to that next level because you feel that that next level is going to make you feel this, this, and this. As soon as you release that resistance, as soon as you let go of the attachment of this will mean this, because you absolutely can have massive money goals. The money goal and desiring of money each month isn't the bad thing. It's not the bad thing at all. It's far from it. Money is just energy. Energy is everywhere, right? It's the limitation you're putting yourself by adding the attachment. I will feel worthy when I make 10K a month. No, we need to feel worthy now in order for us to make the 10K a month, 20K, 30K, 40K. And that's why it's so important that we do the inner work. And when we don't do the inner work, it will always come up. It will always niggle. You might find that you have an argument with your partner over what takeaway you're going to have. And it's nothing to do with the takeaway. It's how you're feeling inside. There's that anxiety. There's that underlying pressure of, oh my God, am I going to hit my money goal this month? It's making me feel a bit anxious, makes me feel a bit sick. And all your thoughts are consumed of the what if you don't do it. And when our thoughts are so consumed of the what if in a negative way, how can you attract your desires? How can you attract in that money goal when you're so focused on the not happening yet? And the mind will give you all the examples of how it hasn't happened in the past. So it means that in order means it won't happen next time. It won't happen next week, next month, next year, which is rubbish. So that's why we need to reprogram that way. The unconscious mind has been processing that data. Good. Right. Next question. How do you stay so committed to your mission? Okay, this is easy. How do you stay so committed to your mission is your mission needs to be bigger than the external validation of a money goal. So your mission needs to be your why you are actually doing this. What's the reason for it? Take away the money and the success out of the equation and just solely focus on your heart and why you're actually doing this. For me, to create and change millions of women's lives so they can create, build, and scale a business of their dreams that feels fun, that lights them up, that gives them purpose, and that it kind of has a knock-on effect and we get to change the freaking world. Also, how I was able to stay so committed to your mission is to celebrate and have fun. Gosh, I see so many entrepreneurs that are like, work, hustle, hustle, hustle. I'm like, where's the fun? Where's the play? You're forgetting why you're doing this. This isn't for us to get to this destination. It's to enjoy the process up until that and beyond that and beyond that. And for me, how I can stay so committed to the journey is because the destination isn't when I hit a money goal. It isn't when I hit a certain level of status or when I get on the Oprah show or have my own TV show, however great those things are. That isn't the end destination. I am building a brand that's going to change the freaking world. So I celebrate everything up until that point and beyond. So I'll celebrate every small little shift. I might have a negative thought, and the fact that I'm able to shift it so quick, I'll celebrate it. I'll be like, I just shifted that thought so quickly. I celebrate every single client, from all of my clients in the tribe to my online courses, to my conscious coach, to my one-on-ones. Like, I celebrate them, their families, their life, their souls, every single part to that. I celebrate my biz besties' achievements and celebrations like they're my own. I celebrate life. I'm so freaking in love with everything that I get to do with everybody that I freaking love, whilst bringing kind of the girl gang with me. Like, we're all here to like celebrate each other and rise up together as a collective. How can I not love what I do? How can I not be committed to this mission? And I'm very well brainwashed into believing that it's about consistency. And then you just got to keep showing up, keep loving what you're doing, keep putting it out there, keep serving your clients, keep oozing out your energy. And that's what creates even more momentum, which creates more energy, which creates more fun and more play and more clients and more lives change. And then it's just like, this gets to feel this good. This is incredible. I don't know if you can tell, but I love what I do. It definitely helps. But if you don't, if there's parts, if you got to a part in your business where you're not in love with what you do anymore, change it. Change it. I definitely experienced this when I had my son. I had grown so much as a person that I felt my business hadn't. And I really had to take an honest look in the mirror and write down on paper exactly what did I desire for my business? How did I want it to look and to feel? And it's scary to make those changes, but you've got to always feel like you're doing what feels good and not what you should do. I've spent far too many years doing things that I should do up in my head. This is the practical thing. I must do this. Whereas I'm totally about, let's create rebels in business. Let's create the rule breaker that's like, actually, I'm doing this because this feels freaking good. And every time I make a business move that felt good, I never regretted. It's only the decisions that I made, not from a place of, this would feel really good, would give me some resistance. But even in that, I learned so much lesson from that. And I think that's really important to be able to understand this, that we never fail. You're never failing. Anytime that you feel like you are failing, I want you to eliminate the word failing. And let's say you've tripped up. Great. Where's the lesson? What did you learn from that? What wouldn't you do again? What did you wish that you had done that you've learned and gone, okay, next time that was a gift because I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about my decision making. I learned so much of what not to do in business, the strategy, whatever it may be. And put the mirror on yourself and go, okay, that didn't work out. Cool. I'm going to try this. Okay. Tried that. That didn't feel too good. Okay. What would feel good to me? What would actually light me up? What would make me feel like, this is fun. I'm going to try this. And see it from the lens of curiosity. See it from the lens of interest. This would feel interesting if I tried this. This has got me really curious if I could do this, this, and this, and let's see where that would lead. Try that in your business and coming from a place of, oh, rather than, oh, and see the difference it will make. Next question. Excuse me. Being really honest now, why do you think you are so successful? Oh, great question. Being really honest, as per, why do you think you are really successful? Okay. This is my honest opinion of why successful people are successful. And it's because successful people are willing to do things that other people are not willing to do. That's as straight up as it is. Why someone is successful and why someone isn't is purely down to the decisions they make and the behavior that they continuously behave like. What do I mean? So for example, why someone is successful is the way they invest, the way they believe, the way they get support, the way a successful person feels fear, but still freaking does it. A successful person will stay committed even when it looks like it may not be working out. A successful person will stay committed even when they don't have instant gratification that this is working. That is the key. That is why successful people are successful, because they don't do something just for the instant gratification. They don't do it for the instant proof. They're doing it and understanding that I got to continuously be taking this action in order for me to get here. A successful person will always back themselves 1,000,000%. Even when they feel scared, even when they're like, oh, they will still 1,000,000% back themselves. And a successful person always has their eyes on the goal. They're not looking around them. They're not looking at the competition. They're solely focused on where they want to go and how it's going to feel to get there. Well, guess what? There's only one route. There's only one result, which is being successful. Boom. Felt like that was a rip and a half. But it's true. It's true. Let me show you an example. Last year was one of the hardest years I've ever had to experience it. And it was a huge mirror for me. And the universe kept showing me this mirror, kept showing me situation after situation after situation that would literally trigger me and trigger me and trigger me and trigger me. Why? Because for me to do the inner work, for me to heal my heart, for me to really kind of master the way my mind has been perceiving this data, I had to do a lot of shadow work, a lot. Now, I had so many examples of what wasn't working. I didn't have any proof that mastering the inner work and having the heart healing was something that was working, but I kept going anyway, because my vision of where I wanted to get to, the end goal of how I wanted to feel and how I wanted to shift through these emotional situations that I was being or having to deal with every single time, I knew how I wanted to feel and I knew what I wanted the outcome to be. So I had to continuously show up after trigger after trigger after trigger, where most people would have dropped off the radar. Most people would have quit. Most people would have stopped. Most people would have given up. Not me, not you. You're listening to this for a reason, because you are a successful person. You are a badass. And what badasses do is we keep going. We're consistent. We're so focused on where we want to get to, we don't let anything stop us. Even when a trigger comes up and another trigger comes up and another trigger comes up, we're like, I have got this. That is why successful people are successful. And success, it's really interesting how you measure success. And I'd love to ask you, how do you honestly measure success in your business and in your life? I want you to answer that. I want you to literally stop for a moment and close your eyes, put your hand on your heart and go, how do I measure success? And see what comes up for you. I'd love for you to engage now and put into the chat box of how you measure your success right now, because this will be a really good indicator on when people go, I'm not successful. I'll be successful when, or I'll feel successful when I hit this. There's always a limitation. There's always an attachment. There's always a condition. And when we think about unconditional love, when we think about the love that we have for our parents, our marriage, our children, when I think about my son, Santiago, there is no limitations on my love. There's no conditions. I'll love you, Santiago, if you speak Spanish to me. I'll love you, Santiago, if you eat all your dinner. I will love you, Santiago, if you go to bed. There's no conditions. I love him, whatever, however. Even if he's having a tantrum and only wants to count to 10 in Spanish and not 20, right? I love him unconditionally. Yet we don't seem to have that same love for ourselves. We put conditions on it. I'll love you when you make this money, when you are successful. You are successful when you have X amount in the bank account. You are successful when you sell out your program. You are successful when you have 100,000 on Instagram followers. You are successful when. There's always a when, there's always a but, there's always a condition. I measure success in how I feel. And I want this to be a light bulb moment for you. I want this to be a massive takeaway for you, where you're going, wow, I've been measuring success on how many clients I signed, how much money I made that month, Instead, and these are all great things, and these are all great tangible things that are great to measure if that feels good for you every month, okay, to see the growth in your business, for sure. Okay, I don't want you to be broke doing a hobby, but you're like, well, I feel good. Tash told me not to look at the numbers. No, we get to have it all. We get to do it all and have it all and be it all and create it all, right? We do. But I want your sole focus to be on you and how you feel. And that's why I can show up every single day in my business. That's why I can serve my clients. That's why I can show up on social media and on my Insta stories and create content and be a present mom, an incredible wife, and a great friend and a great family member. That's why, because my happiness and how I feel every single day is my indicator, is my marker, is my KPI. That's my first and foremost, is how do I feel without a limitation? So I'm conditionally loving myself, whatever the outcome of that month. I don't love myself anymore because I exceeded my money goal for that month. Yes, I'm proud. Yes, I'm like, freaking hell, this means that I got to serve X amount of clients. Go, Tash, that's incredible. But I don't go, you're so lovable because you made X amount of money. I just love you so much more. And likewise, when we don't hit that money goal, we don't sign those clients and your program hasn't sold out, that's when the limitation comes in and when you need to shine more love onto yourself, because we should all be loving ourselves unconditionally. No condition should be put on love. Okay, so last question. Tash, help. I was deciding between two coaches, one that I wanted to work with before, but due to the investment, I went with a cheaper one, then regretted it. Now I'm back deciding between that same coach, the one I wanted to work with before, and another new one for the same price of one-on-one, which is the one that I didn't work with before and regretted it. Or there's a 6-month group program with this new coach. What's your advice? Do I go for longer? Do I go for the longer one, 6 months with the new coach, or do I go with the 3 months one-on-one with the coach that I wanted to work with before? I feel you already know your answer. Okay, so what's coming up for me when I hear this? The fact that you regretted not working with that said coach when you went with the other coach due to the investment level, and the fact you regretted it tells me everything. Tells me that that's the coach that you really want to work with. So why are you even entertaining another option? Why are you entertaining something if this said coach is the one that you regretted not working with before, and now you've got an opportunity to work with that coach again? Go and do it. Now, what I see so many people do is base their investments on the amount of time. And this is how I teach how to sell. People are not buying the modalities. They're not buying the amount of coaching calls. They're not buying the length of the program. They're buying the transformation. That's what they're buying. So for example, if a PT said to you, listen, you can pay me the same amount of money to work with me for 6 months or 3 months, but you're going to get the same transformation, which one would you pick? And I really feel like this is going to teach you about your intuition and your gut of tapping into that, not regretting the same decision that with the past decision that you made. And I get that maybe you feel like you need more support over a longer amount of time. Don't forget the difference in when someone comes to work with me one-on-one to a group program is very, very different. For example, with Conscious Coach, there's weekly calls every single week, and there is support within the Facebook group. Work with me one-on-one, you get bi-weekly calls, just me and you. You don't have to share me with anybody else. You get voice note in Voxer all throughout the week. You get my eyes on your business. You get my eyes, my bespokeness, my RRT modality, all on shifting you, how you feel energetically, how we can strategically move your business to your bespoke goals. They're very different, and they're very different touch points. That's why they're 2 different price points. So I want you to think about when you are delivering this for your clients, when you're looking at the touch point of you one-on-one and a touch point group, they're very, very different. So you need to make sure that you are clearly distinguishing those and you're selling them and marketing them both very, very differently. And lots of different people prefer different things. I love group programs, but I will always invest into the VIP level that gives me a touch point one-on-one with my coach. 1,000,000%. I love one-on-one. That to me really works for me. I want someone's time, energy, their soul, their strategy. I want it on my business, on me. But I also like the element of a group and being in as a collective and hearing other people's stories and also getting transformations through their transformations, right? This week in Conscious Coach, so many of the girls got activated from watching the activations of the other girls. That's how incredible group programs are. So it's very, very important. And, you know, with all the girls that are in Conscious Coach, they're the ones that paid in full, got the bonus of a one-on-one. So they've also got that level. So I always like to sell my programs with that level of one-on-one because I like to sell how I buy. I know I like that. And I love to give that. I love to give that touch point with my clients. So I feel like, I hope you've taken something from that answer. And this isn't about me telling you what the right and wrong answer is. This is about me empowering you as your coach, I'm coaching you distantly here, as your distant coach, to empower you to make the right decision. That's what I want to do, because I know, and you know what that answer is. The way you position the question, I know you know. And I want you to think about this in the different areas. I want you to think about this to empower you to decide to make this decision. And I also want it to empower you and everyone else that's watching this on how you sell and what you offer. They're very, very different. The touch point, what someone will get to me, come into my tribe, is very, very, very different to when somebody comes and works with me one-on-one or books a power hour. They're two very, very different touch points. So remember that. And that is it. That is a wrap. That is all we've got time for. I hope you have taken so many golden nuggets from this. Don't forget, send me a DM over on Instagram at Natasha Clark Coaching. I would love to hear from you of what you took from this, what landed with you, what was your aha moments, what you were like, oh my goodness. And also, if you would like to get your question answered on the next live show, then please do email in at help@natashaclarkcoaching.com, which is my team, or drop me a DM over on Instagram, because it is me that you will be speaking to. Go and have the most epic week, and I look forward to catching up next week. Much love. Bye-bye.